And at the same time, somebody can't come to you unless they have conviction that they're going to do the steps that you tell them to. So they would have to be, like Tony Robbins say, all in, right? Are you all in? Are you going to do what I say to do? Because we can't, or you can't promise results for somebody if they don't take the steps. We just did a testimonial from, the three wonderful people that you'll be seeing in a little bit, that they committed to the steps that you told them to do. One girl was like, "Oh my God, you made me write this stuff out. You made me do all this crazy stuff." And then you were like, "Well, the doctor said he wouldn't deal with you because you're the worst out of all my patients I've ever had in my practice of the history of dealing with a diabetic. But yet I'm going to take you on because you have a happiness coach and you're doing the steps that he's telling you to do." And the doctor's like, "I've never even heard of a happiness coach, but you've got the most results out of all my clients." To somebody off the street wanting to know if you could get them the results, the proof is in the pudding. This girl was going to lose a leg.
A toe. And it could, yeah, she could have lost.
It could have went to a leg.
But yeah, so but she, well, again, she did her work. We did a lot of work with her, and she's a smart woman, and she changed. She had a lot of stuff going on, but
don't let it get that far.
Say this is easy.
But don't let it get that far. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. Is it really true that everything in the world is wrong? Is it really true that it's not your fault? Is it really true it's their fault? Is it really true that you can't get up in the morning? Is it really true you can't do this, you can't do that? Is it really true?
So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome back to the YouTube channel. We got Tharpo, the happiness coach.
Woohoo!
And my name is Scott King, certified hypnotist, NLP practitioner, empowerment coach. You name it, we do it. So today, we're just going to do a little talk on, is it true? Is the environment really controlling what your outcome is?
Yeah, is it really true? Is it really true everything is someone else's fault? Is it true that you shouldn't take all the responsibility of the world on yourself in a sense? It doesn't matter really what happens to you. It's how you're going to deal with it. Is it true that if someone says something about you, that it's true? Or is this about them or you? Is it true that it's other people's fault? There's people walking around blaming the world. And, I'm in pain because of that. I didn't get my stuff done because of Lisa. I didn't get my stuff because of John. If the weather would have been better, like the world's after them for some reason. I could have got my stuff done today if it wasn't raining. Well, yesterday it was too hot to do anything. I couldn't come over because I didn't cook. I couldn't, whatever excuses. Excuses. I hear them each day. From one to another, they all seem to say it's not my fault. So we're blaming other people. I want to ask those people, I want to look in their eyes, and I'm looking in your eyes and saying, is it true? Is it really true that everything is everybody else's fault? And even if it is true, what are you going to do next? What can we do to do the next best thing? Maybe, here's a thing, a really good exercise to be a little bit happier. See if you can go one day without, I was about to say, I'm going to say it, without bitching. Okay. Seriously, I don't like this, but yes, go one day. See if you can one day just not bitch about one thing. And then you'll see how much you are doing it. And just one day, if you can take that one day and just write down just keep a tab, and you'll see you're actually looking at the world in a different place. Because I'm going to tell you, I even do it. I grump about this and that, but I really work on not doing it because I'm focusing on negative when I do that. We can
circumstances are going to be how they are, no matter how you look at it, right?
Right.
So, okay, well, this is the hurdle now. How are we going to get over it?
We're going to accept reality for what it is. And then we're going to ask ourselves, can we do anything about it? Okay.
And don't you feel a little bit more accomplished if something happens to you and you're able to overcome it rather than complain about it?
Right. You get empowerment when you do that. And also you learn something. And things that people appreciate is if you spend money, time, or effort in stuff. So if you do
Yeah, and
anything,
here's another question. Do you think you're the only one that has problems in the environment? And if so, how do you think other people that seem successful or somebody you'd like to be like, how do you think they deal with the environment or problems, or this person didn't do it? Would you happen to think maybe just a little bit more knowledge about circumstances could make you see other alternatives or options or choice or preparations or whatever the answer would be?
yeah, here's the thing that came up with I was studying a while back is that I am the center of the universe. You can tell I got a halo. I well, anyway, the truth is, people believe for some reason they're the center of the universe, and those are the people. A lot of times, are the people who blame everything around them. Everything revolves around them. Nothing else. No other person. It's all about them. Now, and so if the weather's bad, it's because somebody didn't do the weather right. If anything's bad, it's definitely not my fault. Everything revolves around me. And what happens with that is that they can't see other people's perspective. And it's like, what do we do to tell them?
So Jeff, I learned this really fundamental lesson that was brought to my attention in probably a different way. And would you like to know what it was?
Man, I'd love to know what it is.
Yeah, you may know all these techniques and all these different things. Somebody listening to you probably won't care, right? Unless you show them how the things that you know can get them results.
Oh, well, so we start out with exercises and really assessing everything that we just said. First, we say, is it true? Is it really true? Is it about somebody else or is it about you? And then really think about it. If it's about you, you can change you. And if it's about somebody else, not necessarily. You can't change somebody else, but you can change yourself. Now, also we have the way when we're blaming me or anybody else to reframe. Is it really true again? Is that true? Could we look at a different angle and see maybe we're grumping about something and actually we're learning. So then we can throw in about the regrets. Well, the regrets you do and the regrets you don't do. And then we know the regrets what you don't do, they hurt more because the regrets what you do, then they become learning experience to get to the next side. So what I would do with somebody who came to me, if anybody's out there who has this problem of blaming everybody else, let's start thinking, could it be my responsibility? And most of the time, truthfully, if you're going to be more happy, you're going to take responsibility for whatever happens in your life. I'm not saying it's your fault. This is not what I'm saying, because the environment comes at us. It doesn't matter the reality, it comes at us. How we're going to deal with it is what matters. We can take it
because you want to take your clients and shift their thinking.
Right. So
because you don't, it's not like you have a magic wand. It's to say, oh, everything's better now in the world. It's taking your clients from, oh, I'm mad at the world, so let's shift our thinking to what we can do about what the world is. Because it's not like you could change the world. You're just changing somebody's shift, how they think, so that you could get them the results that they want. And you do that with, I don't know, you have an arsenal of
tools. My God. Yeah.
So, and at the same time, somebody can't come to you unless they have conviction that they're going to do the steps that you tell them to. So they would have to be, like Tony Robbins say, all in, right? Are you all in? Are you going to do what I say to do? Because we can't, or you can't promise results for somebody if they don't take the steps. We just did a testimonial from, the 3 wonderful people that you'll be seeing in a little bit, that they committed to the steps that you told them to do. One girl was like, oh my God, you made me write this stuff out. You made me do all this crazy stuff. And then you were like, well, the doctor said he wouldn't deal with you because you're the worst out of all my patients I've ever had in my practice of the history of dealing with a diabetic. But yet I'm going to take you on because you have a happiness coach and you're doing the steps that he's telling you to do. And the doctor's like, I've never even heard of a happiness coach, but you've got the most results out of all my clients. To somebody off the street wanting to know if you could get them the results, the proof is in the pudding. This girl was going to lose a leg.
A toe. And it could, she could have lost
it. It could have went to a leg.
But yeah, so but well, again, she did her work. We did a lot of work with her, and she's a smart woman, and she changed. She had a lot of stuff going on, but okay.
Don't
So
let it
we're
get
not going
that
to say
far.
this is easy, but if
Don't
you
let it
do,
get that far. That's all I'm saying.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, that's what I'm saying too. And she's writing a book about, let's not get it too far either. So if she would have changed, you wherever you're at now, that's where you're at. You can't be any other place. And yet, if you want to be somewhere else, we can start helping you move towards what you want. One thing is, if you really find yourself blaming everybody, this is where I say you have a personal issue. I mean, I can help you with it. You don't have to be helped with it. But you will have to want to change if you want to become happier and more, and I'm not telling anybody should, ought to, must change, but I'm just saying till you take responsibility for your own stuff, then you won't be as happy. Now, again, environment, what we're talking about, comes at you all the time. It's how you're going to deal with it.
yeah, explain the
Basically,
environment. I know I say that a lot, but explain.
okay, and let's just say environment is anything out of yourself, nothing internal. Internal is, let's just say, you have the internal right to believe anything you want. And a lot of people try to find their happiness outside of what they are. So that would be person, place, or thing, or anything around you, circumstances coming at you. That's environment. That could be a fire. Your house is caught on fire. That's a terrible thing, but we can live through it. Poor Scott he's by a hurricane today, and he's brave. So anyway, so that's the environment. Now, you can't do anything about the environment. If it's going to rain, it's going to rain. It's going to how you're going to do it. Maybe you'll go get an umbrella. So if you want to go out in the rain, you can tackle it better. Or maybe you'll just stay in that day. But we're going to have to deal with the rain, because if we want to go do something, we'll have to deal with it. We can just let it go, though. We can let these things go. We don't have to make these things issues. But rain could be an issue. And somebody disagreeing with you, or somebody calling you a name, anything that's coming towards you. But internal is where you have to find that you're good enough, worthy, and how you take the things that come at you each day. So what they say is, you're looking for your happiness outside. Let's just go with the happiness thing for a second. Somebody might say, I'll be happy when I get my new car. And the truth is, when they get the new car, they're going to be happy almost as long as the new car smell goes. And then they become complacent. Now they want a bigger, better new car. So in the happiness code, we would set small goals to get there, so you get your dopamine hits, and then you get your car. But that's not it. It's not waiting to be happy. It's starting today. What are you going to do to stop bugging today? That's why I want you to assess everything you're doing. What are you grumping about? Now, the thing grumping about anything you can't change isn't going to change it. When you're grumping, you're either making somebody else miserable or trying to get something from somebody else. So instead of doing that, let's stop blaming anybody for anything and take responsibility for our own happiness.
So just
go ahead.
There would just be a couple questions for somebody that wanted to work with, well, either me, and I think Jeff would agree with me on these couple questions right here. First question is, are you sick of where you're at?
Yes.
Number two, are you willing to change? Will you make that change? Are you
willing to do the work it takes?
Well, the third question is, are you willing to commit and do the work?
Okay.
Right? So first question, are you sick of where you're at? Are you willing to change? Are you willing to commit?
And then
that will get you the results.
Question, on the scale of 0 to 10, how much are you willing to change? Because
I'm doing you're doing I'm doing digital, you're doing analog.
Okay. On
so
or off, my gosh.
No, really. No. Are you sick of where you're at? Are you willing to change? And are you willing to do the work? Okay. Then after that, it would be on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy you are, or how do you judge your living, your circumstances, and where do you want to be?
Yes. What do you want? What do you have? And what don't you like about it? And where do you want to go?
Yeah. And are you willing to do it?
And willing to do it. And so what we want them to do is basically figure out what is not working, and let's make it work, or let's let it go. Looking inside and see if they want to change.
Yeah, and
Because
shifts with hypnosis, with NLP, with
oh my
language
goodness.
patterns. I mean, framing. I mean, the techniques we have could go for days. Like, and again, we have an hour of people just raving about, all the tools, given to these people, like mental tools that they use, even in regular, like, I don't know. I think the one girl was like, "Oh yeah, you gave me the framing tool, and I was able to use the framing tool while in the conversation with the person, and then it didn't bother me anymore." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that's a good tool to have. That's
Yeah,
just
and
one
she
of
used
many."
her anchor. Remember, she was using her anchor too.
Yeah.
She,
So,
so the anchors are
if
really
all this
good.
stuff is like French to you, sign up for a class. Come see us in the weekly meetings. Like, we're gonna have some new stuff coming out too.
Well, another thing that those anchors will do is really a good way to get out of stress and also keep you. Oh, anyway, maybe we should do a whole
Yeah, Jeff. I
talk on
mean,
anchors. Why
I think
anchors are so important and what they do for you, because that really a good thing. So yeah, so let us or come to our class or give us a shout.
look us up because it's about to change. I've just been taking a lot of classes, and right now it's free to join the group, but we got a few things coming where things are going to change. So keep up to date with us, sign up for the mailing list, and you're about to see things in this year that are going to be a little different than previous years.
Yay, yay. We
All
love you
righty.
guys. We love you.
Yeah,
Well,
you can do it.
you can do it. You can. You can do it.
All right. We'll catch you on the
Thank
next
you.
one.
All right.
Bye.